All right, good afternoon. I'm Corinne. My name's Corinne Rogers. I own a company called Simple Smart Solo, where we squeeze stress into success. Lemons is a thing. I'm wearing some lemons, and that's my thing. So I'm here today to help you hopefully find maybe some chaos in your firms that's not accusatory. And we're going to go over 3 simple systems to control some of that chaos. Much to your disappointment, there will be no demos today. There will be no AI, and I don't have like any magic. I love all of those things, but we're going to go back to fundamentals today for the next 56 minutes. Okay, we're going to go fundamentals, basics. These are things that I hope you can start to put to practice today. You can start planning and doing these things today and take them home with you and keep implementing them tomorrow, next week, next month. That's what we're going to do, okay? Yep, that's me on the screen. I am a certified Clio consultant. I don't know, has anybody heard of a Clio consultant before? Whoa, okay, let's back up for a second. So there are people that are Clio certified consultants, and they have gone through a program to learn all about Clio Grow, Clio Manage, everything that Clio offers, and they go through a certification process. Many of us have our own businesses, or we're part of consulting businesses. We work with your firm, sometimes in person, sometimes virtually, and we help set up Clio for your law firms. Okay, so those are Clio certified consultants. If you go to Clio.com, at the very bottom of Clio.com, it used to be on the right-hand side, there is a link to find a Clio consultant. Is that new information to a lot of you? Okay, wow, all right. Well, great. There are many, many of us. A whole bunch of us flew in early for Clio, and we were here yesterday and did a deep dive about all the things that you saw today at the keynote. So we're very invested in helping you get more out of Clio. We really do believe in this product. For example, I only work with Clio as a software for my business, and I'm biased. If you come and ask me about other practice management software, I'm always going to vote for Clio. So, all right, let's move on. Okay, so I've spoken to hundreds of law firms over probably like 6-7 years, and I see the same 3 main problems over and over again. The work often lives in your brain, and we need to get it out. There's a silo effect. The other main problem I see in law firms is that your tools, you've got some stuff, you've got Clio, maybe you have some integrated things like Microsoft or Google, but it's like all tangled and it's just not working smoothly, or you think it could be smoother. And then the other thing is everything's just kind of like in a pile and it's affecting your leadership. How many owners of law firms in here? Whoa, okay. How many support people, paralegals, office managers? Right, okay. So there's this failure to lead. And I don't necessarily feel like it's owner's fault or the staff's fault for not bringing problems to owner or leader, but it's just like everything's not clicking. So the good news is we're going to go after these 3 things today. Okay, we're going after these 3 things. Shoot, it's kind of gotten dry in here. I wish I had my water or my coffee. Where's Wendy? Where's Wendy? Hey, Wendy. Oh, no, I don't want that water. I want the water. Let's see. Ian, you can help me. Could you get my coffee? It's somewhere in the back of the room. And then I think I lost. Oh, Wendy, could you go right back left corner, water bottle, pink sticky note on it? That's the water that I want. Sorry, I just don't like that particular water. I only like my kind of stuff. Yeah. Oh, Ian, you can't find it? It's not that hard, Ian. It's coffee. Like, how do you not know what coffee looks like? What? Well, Wendy's saving the day. Thank you. I know a big crowd. That was so fast, though. Wendy's so efficient. Oh, never mind. I found the coffee. And I don't even want it. It's not like I need more coffee or caffeine right now. Whatever. So sorry, Ian, to waste your time. I mean, you tried to do a good job. Okay, so that's what it feels like when the systems live in your brain, in your law firm, and the team can't find your stuff. Does that resonate? All right. Okay, so we can't keep doing that. So let's get after it. Okay, so the problem's the chaos in your head. More things. Deadlines are in your head. You're assigning tasks to people in your head. You're checking 5 places for one answer. You can't see what the team sees. All problems. We are going to go after this right now. So if you have your phones, if you have paper, if you have a pen, we're going after something in Clio. Clio has a function called tasks and task lists. Have you heard of this? This is not new news. Okay, so my motto is, if you don't task, you didn't ask. We are going to think about your practice areas, and we're going to turn them into checklists. You're going to get visibility and consistency, and you're going to feel more resilient. I need you to start your day in Clio, looking at the tasks that are due for you and your team, versus in your email inbox, where you're reactive instead of proactive. Does that sound fair? Okay, so your turn, your move. We're knocking this out. I want you to think about your practice area. So I'm going to give you an example. Estate planning. I work with estate planning law firms all the time. They tell me they sell will packages, trust packages, they do probate, they do other things. I tell them, when we're trying to make the system to smooth out the workflow once and for all, I say, pick one thing. Pick the will package. Block an hour on your calendar. This is a to-do for you right now. You need to go into your calendars right now. I think it is, but is it Thursday? Great. Pick an hour tonight if you're a real go-getter. Pick an hour before Monday. So you can show up with one thing starting to be done that you are implementing from CLIO CON. I want you to pick an hour and say to yourself, I am not leaving this chair. I am not taking any calls. I'm not going on my cell phone. I'm not playing any of the New York Times games. It's my favorite. Until I brain dump how to do a will package in 10 steps. It's not every little detail that your team needs. It's the overarching, this is how we get from the beginning to the drafted final draft that we give to the client for review, signing. So that's the will. You can do this with family law. Family law firms tell me all the time, their categories are contested divorce, uncontested divorce, child custody, so on and so on and so on. I think everyone has a practice area that they can break down into chunks and start doing it into 10 steps. You can make it into 20 steps if you want to. I caution you to go beyond 20, but do what you need to do, okay? But you have to give yourself the time on the calendar to finally do this, because this is the gritty work that you have to do for your team. This is the stuff that you think everybody knows, and it causes friction because no one knows what everyone is doing. Okay, so I'm gonna make you do it right now. I'm giving you 2 minutes just to at least write down your categories and what like your sample workflows would be, okay? All right, let's come back to this. So for those of you that went on the journey with me, you made a list of your practice areas and you started sketching out, this is the way we do things all the time, right? Now I want you to think about adding a column to that information. So you could do it in a spreadsheet, you could do it in a Word document, whichever. I want you to think about the people in your firm. And I want you to think about who besides you, if you're the leader or the owner or the only person doing this thing, I want you to think about who besides you could be taught how to do the thing that you know in the list of things is not worth your time. So I work with a lot of solo firms with staff. I work with firms with partners. Most firms that I work with are under like 1.5 million in revenue, and they want to advance, they want to grow, but they keep hitting the wall because they don't have things like this drafted. So the idea when you're building your system of how you get the work done, just the work, not the billing, not the intake, not everything, but just how you get the work done, start thinking about who really is the best person to do some of these steps. I know that there are many superstar legal assistants, superstar paralegals that are chomping at the bit to support some of you in the work that could be given to them, but they need training. Is that fair? Is anybody getting angry right now? I'm sorry. You're welcome to get me after the talk and tell me I'm wrong. I'm open to this. It's okay. I'm never saying that your paralegals and your legal assistants and your support staff are doing attorney-required work. No. I'm just saying that I see too many attorneys like taking information from one place, the copy-paste, and putting it in documents that like support staff could do that for you. If there's a step that says, now we're at this drafting spot, give it to the person that is the best equipped to do that. Does that make sense? Am I like kind of word salad right now? Or okay, all right. So remember, you've got your steps that say, these are the chunks of my practice areas. This is what we do. Then it's who is the right person. If you're a true solo right now and you have the vision of hiring someone, this is how you do it. And this is how you train them. And they get up to speed faster. They can start really showing their value within like 2 to 4 weeks. Because you say, look, this is everything that I'm doing right now. I'm the attorney doing everything, but I already made the list. These are the exact things I have to teach you. So I can get this off my plate and I can go market the firm and you can do these things for me and we can join together and do that, okay? So it's the who, it's the what, and then this part's crazy, it's the when. So I'm gonna take a probate as an example. Estate planning law firms do probate. It can be done typically under a year, under 9 months, for some states. I know not all states, but they have a timeline. So what those firms do, for example, when they build probate, is they build their process backwards. They say at the end of 9 months, this should be done. So they start in their document where they're drafting their procedures, they say like, this should take a week. This should take 2 weeks. This should take 5 days. Sometimes people have a reaction and they go, well, it's so hard to get the client to do what we need them to do. Completely hear that. So this is your opportunity in your workflow to start documenting when routinely we get drag from the client, let's build in a reminder. What would happen if we texted or called or sent follow-up emails to that person, just kind of gently nudging them? What would happen if we did that? Would it keep things on track? But when you have 150 cases, sometimes they kind of get left behind. Like, you're like, you know what? Just simmer. And before you know it, 6 weeks have gone by on something that's not urgent, and now it's just kind of there, right? So these tasks, this system is designed to get you moving forward. Okay, so where this all comes together, Clio Manage has something called tasks and task lists, which I've already mentioned. Task lists is where you take your system that you've documented and you load it into Clio Manage. You put it in there, and then every single time you open that kind of matter, it is your recipe card and you use it over and over and over again. It is a repeatable system. It gets attached to the matter. It automatically goes in there. Someone opens the matter and all the tasks are there. And now you know who does what by when. And then the craziest thing, if you've never experienced this, this is a good time. You can go into Clio Manage at any time and see where you all are with the tasks. If somebody, I'm going to use a joyful example. Somebody comes into your firm and says, "Got news, today is my last day. I have won the Powerball." It's much better than the whole firing one that everybody does. Yeah. Okay, so I have won the Powerball. You are going to congratulate that person, hope they give you at least 10,000 just for your pain and suffering for losing someone. And then you are going to go look at their tasks and sit down and figure out, divide and conquer, what does the team need to do, or what do you do if it's just you, to fill the gap, to make sure that there's no issues, right? Okay, so that's the positive. You can go down the rabbit hole of what the negative ones are and things like that. But yeah, I mean, this lets you be the kind of leader where people come to you with really cool things that they want to do, like they need a vacation, or a tragedy has happened in their family and they do need to leave, and you don't want to be the person that's like, "Yeah, I guess you could go." They just had a tragedy in their family. The really sad part is I know way too many associates that have had that experience in a firm, and then once everything was over, they're out of there. They quit, they left, and they went and found a more joyful firm. So I don't know, who wants to be a joyful firm? I would like to help you all be a joyful firm. Okay, definitely not enough hands on that. That's okay. All right, you feel good about this? Just lie. It's okay. I know. I would say in Clio Grow, Clio Manage, I would say this is the grittiest work that you do as law firm owners, is holding yourself accountable and doing this workflow, like making time on the calendar, because this isn't done in an hour. There are quick ways to do it, but I'll tell you about that another time. This is the grittiest work that you have to do, is constantly creating the procedures so they don't live in everybody's head. Okay, we are moving on. Okay, it's not about buying new tech. It's about untangling the tech that you already have. AirPods, nice and sleek. Mine are always charged, of course. Do we all remember these? Okay. I am proud to say that I had to hunt to find these because I forgot mine at home. Mine don't exist anymore. They're in the junk drawer at home. I do not use these anymore. But this is your metaphor. The next thing that we're going to do, I want you to think about, do you want to live like this? Wireless, sleek, smooth, quick to charge. Yeah, I know these are always charged. I've heard they're making a comeback. But I'm in a meeting, or I'm on the plane, I'm sitting in first class, or I'm at the gym. I've almost strangled myself with these on a treadmill before. Which one do you want to be, right? Okay, so just think about that. Tangled tech. We're moving on. We're going to talk about intake, otherwise known as Clio Grow. I'm going to get in trouble. How many people have Clio Grow? Hold on. How many of you actually use it? You're lying. You guys are lying. It's okay. You can fight me on it later. All right. So remember, AirPods, they both work. One of them wastes time. You know which one it is. Clio can feel like this if you don't automate as much as you can. All right. Your intake, and I'm talking about the first 5 minutes that somebody calls you. We're not going to go deep into intake. I just want you to feel what I'm going to act out, and you just decide if this happens consistently in your firm. Here's how it should be. Ring, ring. Good morning, fake law firm. This is Corinne. How may I help you? Hi, I'm an estate planning law firm. Hi, I'm really busy right now. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have called you, but I do need to get this done. My husband and I were like running around naked, basically. We have no estate planning documents. We have 2 small kids. My friend Tom told me to call you. Oh my gosh, could you be quiet? Right, because the kids are in the car. Maybe I should call you back. No, that's okay. Here, let me make it super easy for you. All I need is your name. Oh, my name's Corinne Rogers. Great. Can I get your email? Yeah, my email's freedom@simplesmartsolo.com. Okay. Listen, Corinne, I know you're really busy. Sounds like you got stuff on your plate, but this is really important. How about this? You go back to what you need to do, and I'm going to email you a link to take care of scheduling an appointment, collecting the consult fee, okay? And we need a little form filled out. That's all you need to do. You'll see it in your email, okay, Corinne? Oh, yeah, that's great. I just need to get this off my back. I just need to get it done. I need peace of mind. Okay, we're late for soccer. Click. Done. Does that, I know there's plenty of companies that teach intake deeper than that. I would like you to have a deeper intake than that, but I also know that sometimes like the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. What I did, is that okay with some of you? If not, this is gonna get weird. Okay, so here's what really happens. Ring, ring. Hello? Hello? Yeah? Hello? Hi, my name's Corinne. I'm friends with Tom Smith. Is this the law firm? Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, what can I help you with? Oh, my friend Tom said to call you. I need an estate plan. My husband and I running around naked. We've got to get documents finally done, like we're just being irresponsible. Oh, yeah, listen, I'm busy right now. I'm in Ann Taylor looking for better shoes than these. That's a story. And yeah, I got your number. I'm sorry, can I call you back? That went sideways. Okay, scenario 2. Hey, yeah, let me get your phone number. Or is this number that you called me at? Can I, on my personal cell phone, can I call this number back? Yeah, oh, yeah, that's great. I'm at soccer with the kids. I'm really busy. Okay, so all that gets lost. It goes on a sticky note. There's no system. Do you see the difference? Okay, so I need everyone to stop doing those things. I need you to stop answering calls on your personal cell phone. I need you to stop controlling intake manually. And then a lot of problems go away. So I'm gonna talk about this a little bit more with Clio Grow. If you're not available, let reception take care of it. There are companies here called Call Ruby, there's Lex Reception, there's Smith AI. They all can help you answer calls if you're not available. They can actually capture the info in Clio Grow as well, but we're not gonna go too deep into that. I need you to not be doing sticky notes or writing things down that are supposed to be scheduled on a calendar. You could use the Clio Grow scheduler. I don't want you to always wait until the appointment and be caught blindsided. That's not fair to you. You can make a tiny intake form just to get a little bit of information so you know what you're walking into, okay? And then for those of you that are charging for consult fee, Clio Grow in the scheduler has a link where they cannot schedule. Tell me if you didn't know this. You cannot schedule unless you pay. You can turn it to $0 if you want. They don't have to do it. But if you're a firm that wants to start charging consult, it's challenging to have that conversation. There's no reason why you can't act like when we buy airplane tickets. Do we get on an airplane for free ever and tell them we'll pay them at the door? No. You pay before you go on the flight, right? That's what we do. So the chaos are the things, obviously, you can see the slide. The system is using things in Clio Grow. There's something called, it's a workflow automation tool. You can build this yourself. If they have demos of Clio Grow, which I'm sure they do between today and tomorrow, I would encourage you to go to the Clio Grow demo and learn how to do the mini intake workflow automation. And all it is it's the behind the scenes of ring, ring, good morning, fake law firm. This is Corinne. How may I help you? Hi, I need an estate plan. Okay, this person needs an estate plan. I'm in Clio Grow. Oh, okay. They are getting the phone number that pops up on the screen, or they're asking if they really need it. Remember, I asked for the name and the email, right? I put the name and the email into Clio Grow in this quick automated workflow that you build. You could do it in under 2 hours, super simple. And that's all you need, because once you get that information, you hit a button in Clio Grow and it will automatically send out your form. It will automatically send out an email saying, thank you, please fill this out. Thank you, it has been submitted. As soon as they do that, it goes to the next part with the Clio Grow scheduler, where they can schedule the appointment to meet with you. And then it asks them to pay. And you get an alert saying they signed up for the consult, they paid, they're scheduled, and you get the intake form back. Does that sound okay? Okay, cool. And then you're not, I feel like I'm blaming you guys a lot. I'm sorry. It's not meant to be like that. It's not. You have the weight, the admin weight off your shoulders. I would rather you think about higher level things than, shoot, what day was that scheduled on? It's already done. Okay? All right, so this for your intake form, I would tell you too, for tiny intake, keep it to I like 3 questions, what are your goals for this meeting? What are you worried about? If you are in a situation where you work in a different practice area, you could always say, do you have a court date coming up, or do you have an active case somewhere else? Things like that, just so you know. But super, super simple, okay? All right. That was just a little bit of Clio Grow. Remember, no demo. They have demos here. That's why you're here. So go to those. Take what I just shared. All right, we're moving on. We're going to talk about when everything finally clicks. So we talked about tasks and task lists. We talked a little bit about intake. Now I want to talk about getting your arms around all of the cases once and for all. I talk to a lot of law firms, and when I ask them, how do you keep track of cases now? They say, well, I have a list of cases in Clio and manage. I go, okay, great. And how do you keep track of them? Well, we do the matter stages, when we remember to update the stages. And we're trying to use tasks because, again, we're going in circles, right? And then what we do is we keep our own individual or shared tracking document. I will not ask you to raise your hand because it's going to upset me to find out how many of you use tracking documents. Or worse, spreadsheets. Spreadsheets. Okay. So a good rule of thumb when you're overwhelmed with the things that you could be doing in Clio is to think about all the spreadsheets that you have, because I know you have them, especially the ones that track where you are, and say, how could I, because you probably can, how could I take the information on the tracking sheet and get it into Clio Manage? Because there's probably a way to do it. You could come ask me if you're not sure. Okay, so People fight me on this all the time. And I tell them, hold on a minute. A lot of you went to law school if you're attorneys, went to paralegal school if you're paralegals, legal assistants, you've learned on the job. You've all worked very hard to be where you are, and I respect that. There's a group of professionals called doctors. They worked very hard to be where they are at. The thing that always blows me away is, for some reason, the doctor in the medical practice, not the doctor practice, in the medical practice has a system that we all seem to follow, right? Or we're not going to get better. So when you go to the doctors, they don't leave the room without doing their notes. They can't. They don't end the appointment until they make sure your prescription has moved forward. They have a team that says, you can't leave until we know when the next appointment is. It's a very solid system. Or they're going to need one of you. If anybody does malpractice for doctors in here, they're going to need one of you, right? If they mess up. I need the legal profession to start acting like the medical profession. I don't think it's fair, frankly. I don't think it's fair that you all don't go in the same directions. Doctors go on patient rounds in hospitals. They cannot go home, ideally, until every one of their patients has been reviewed or seen. I need that to happen with client cases. I need every patient to be seen. I need every client to be seen. Okay, so the next thing is maybe a little uncomfortable. It's called the accountability meeting. You can come up with your own creative name for this meeting. Your staff most definitely will. Okay? Yep. So I have lived this. I did work in a firm for about 5 years. It was a very busy firm. And this is where I learned about this, and we instituted this. Okay? So this is a meeting. It's called the accountability meeting. And this is where kind of things really start clicking and coming together when you start leveling up your use of CLIO. All right, so the accountability meeting goes like this. This is something, remember I made you put on your calendar when you were going to work with task lists? You're going to start I told you to put on your calendar that you're going to start to brain dump your practice areas and how you do them. Well, you're going to put another meeting on your calendar. Don't do this one for this week unless you're ready to go. But 2 weeks out on your work calendar during the day, go ahead and put a meeting. If you've never done it before, I would tell you to put it on for 2 hours. And everyone's like, I don't have 2 hours. Well, you're never going to get 2 hours until we start doing this. This is the way. The obstacle is the way. That's a book, by the way. It's a very good book. The obstacle is the way. Okay. So the accountability meeting goes like this. Team comes in. I understand there's virtual teams. That's fine. Everybody's on Zoom, cameras on. 2 hours, no distractions. Do not disturb. We are not taking intake calls during this meeting. This is serious. At the end of my talk, there's a QR code on the very last slide. I will send you the procedure for this, so you too can have this joy in your life. Okay. So everyone around the table, I would encourage you to bring snacks for the first meeting because it might be a little bit sour. The number one rule of accountability meeting is it is a no judgment zone. It is a no blame game. It is simply, with no emotion, a report of where we are on a case and where we need to go. So when I sat in my accountability meeting, we went through 150 open matters. You only go through open matters. And we did it in an hour and a half. And we got so much better. There are no sidebar conversations allowed in the meeting. There are no comments about the client allowed in the meeting. There is no chit chat or gossip allowed in the meeting. And there is no discussion of the case in the meeting. Okay, so what the heck are we doing in the meeting? Okay, this is what we're doing in the meeting. 150 matters. Okay, owner can be in charge of the matter list. So matter list is pulled up in Clio. I would encourage you to sort from newest to oldest by your open date. Then you say, all right, case number 1, Smith. The next thing that gets reported is the last person that worked on that case ideally has put in a note or a task saying what's next. So one person has the list of matters, the next person has the list of tasks, or just quickly goes to that task. And while they're waiting the 2 seconds or 5 seconds to go over every case, this is where the sneak attack comes for gossiping, chatting, comments. It's awful. But you gotta be patient and you gotta work through it. So you check to see what's happening. If the case hasn't been touched, you just say, okay, put in a task to review this matter with a deadline to review. And then also, is this hourly, flat, or contingent? If it's hourly, you need to check the balance. If there's no money in trust, you know what to do, right? It's time to figure out how much more money do you need for the next 6 weeks to work the matter. If you're almost done, great, you're almost done. But this is designed to start catching those that are creeping up to a low balance. The question, if you're a firm with like a few attorneys and maybe 5 or 6 staff, things can really start moving. You might say, hey, what's coming up on this case in the next 6 weeks? Oh, we have this really big thing happening. Oh, how much money's left in trust? 1,000. Oh, time to ask for an increase in retainer, right? But what I see working with a lot of firms is that's not happening. And then the case gets worked and the firm ends up with accounts receivable. And then it's awkward. Like, hey, especially if you don't get a good result, right? Whoops. Ooh, okay. So this is designed to start figuring it out. And then also making sure that you don't have runaway cases, that you don't have a case that keeps getting billed. Wait, they don't have any money, or we've got a problem and we have to fix it. This is how you get ahead of that. Okay, so we're reviewing all the cases. We're putting in a task or a note. I prefer task. We're checking the billing. And you can actually, in the meeting, send out the trust request. You can also escalate matters that need to be put in front of owner. If there's something brewing and we gotta deal with it, if we wait another week, it's not gonna get any better. Escalate the stuck matter. 150 matters, an hour and a half to 2 matters. No file gets skipped. There are always clients and matters that are a thorn in your side. And in some firms, what I see is everyone's like, let's just ignore them. Maybe they'll go away. It's not gonna go away. It's not. You're gonna find out there's an issue with communication. And we all know the #1 bar complaint is what? Failure to. Yeah, wow, you guys paying attention. Okay. So this is to get ahead of this. I have given this speech about accountability meeting many times. The firms that say this meeting is a do or die meeting are the ones that really start growing, because you can't keep growing until you fix the cracks in your system. This potentially increases your cash flow because it decreases your accounts receivable. This is the meeting where it forces you to check in with your clients, which makes them feel good. It lets you be proactive instead of reactive. This is the meeting that starts calming down your inbox. So for those of you, and I don't think there's anyone that doesn't have this issue, and I hope you don't, but for those of you that have an inbox that feels like it's a fire drill all the time, if you can get after it and get proactive, this meeting is designed for you to get the ball in your client's court. If they owe you something, this is the time for you to be a leader to everyone in the firm and say, hey, we got to figure this out. You can't keep ignoring my staff's requests. I'm not the only person that requests things from you. So this is where you start finding problems and you just start slaying the dragon left and right. Okay? Again, that has to be done. If it's my magical fake law firm, I'm doing this every week. Not once a month, not when I get around to it. It does not get shoved because I'm in trial. It gets moved to a different date. I worked in a law firm where there were 5 or 6 attorneys and there were lots of things going on. This meeting was burned into the calendar. If owner is not available, let's say owner goes on vacation. I hope you are on vacation. This meeting does not get canceled. Your next person, your right hand, runs the meeting. This is a procedure. You cannot come back from vacation and be told, oh yeah, we just didn't have a meeting. Nope. You're in here. Because what's going to happen? All your problems are going to come back. So just like people record their hours, just like I put shoes on every day before I leave the house, I'm not going out barefoot. The accountability meeting happens. Does that sound fair? Okay. Just curious, for those of you, does anybody do this meeting repeatedly? Case review meeting? That's awesome. That's great. Keep doing it. Tell all your friends because they're not doing it and they really, really need it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, something else I want to tell you is that there are really good tools for you to level up your use of Clio Manage. There are things like, I mentioned these earlier, there are tools like Case Status. Case Status is a program that integrates with Clio Manage and essentially helps move the matter along and communicate to the client with you with a portal, keeps them abreast of the status, and dramatically, allegedly reduces email. It's a really cool program. You still have to do the foundational stuff. This is the foundational stuff to make those systems work really well. That's my belief. I'm sure there's people that don't agree with me. I'm sorry. But people come to me all the time and they say, isn't there just like a better way? Is there like a magical way? Isn't there like a chat GPT or an AI way to make this all happen? And I say, yeah, there probably are, but you still need that core system. Everyone needs to know the expectation in the firm. All the oars need to be rowed the right way or whatever to make the boat go down the river. Okay? So this isn't skipped. And that quote is true. Control isn't built in a day. It's maintained every week. Okay? All right. So I'm not done. Yes, this is a thank you slide. That is my QR code for me. So you can grab that if you want it. Take that for a second, then I have another one. If you want a copy of my slide deck, that's that one. I'm happy to give this to you. If you'd like, I'm happy to give you the cheat sheet on the accountability meeting. I'll give you the worksheet on how to start documenting your task lists. And I'll give you the steps to the mini Clio Grow automation. If you can't get it, let me know. I'm not hard to find. I'm around. Okay. Places I really would like you to hang out for the next day and a half, if this stuff resonates with you. I would tell you to check your agenda, and I would go to some of the more deeper, inch wide, mile deep presentations on Clio Grow, 100%. I would go to anything related to tasks. Go see companies like Hona, Case Status, they're exhibiting. There's a third one, and I can't remember it. I'm really sorry. What else? Does anybody have like a ton of issues with too many leads? Anybody have too many leads? Yes, if you have too many leads, that's heavy admin stuff on you, right? And it breaks the process with Clio Grow. Go see Law Broker, LAWBROKR, Law Broker. Trying to think, what else can I tell you to take the weight off your shoulders? I don't know. If you have questions, I'm happy to take some questions too.
You said Hona and what?
Case Status. They're different, but I've heard great things about both. If you have questions, I can take them, but I don't think I can really see your arms up. Hello, arm. Hi.
So we have an immigration law practice, and a lot of the people who contact us may not have relief available. So I'm wondering what your suggestion would be with intake when you're dealing with a fair amount of volume with people who are not, you're not going to offer a consultation to them because it's paid and you can get enough information to know that this consultation would go nowhere.
How did they find you in the first place?
Generally through search or through word of mouth.
Okay, so if it's search, go talk to Law Broker, LAWBROKR. Sorry, I'll give you like the 1 minute pitch on Law Broker. So Law Broker is like a layer of intake. It lays on top of your website. If people are finding you through the website, what I don't know is if people are like Googling and just seeing the phone number that comes up and just direct calling or tapping on the smartphone, or if they're actually like looking at the website. If they're looking at your website, there's a filter that says like, what are you interested in? What do you need? It's all customizable. That's the word I'm looking for. So it's all customizable. And I think you can do it in Spanish, I would imagine, or many languages. And it screens in and can screen out as well.
That's
so,
Law Broker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's an option. But then like, let's pretend Law Broker doesn't exist, right? And referrals, if they're coming from like other people that you know, I think it's really important. And again, this is not a tech thing. Not everything's tech. This is a thing where you have to go back to that referral source and you have to educate the referral source and say like, hey, Bob, I really appreciate, I got a referral from you. Thank you so much. I just wanted to let you know, this is what I actually do versus what I don't do. I mean, I get that all the time. People call me and say, hey, I have a family law firm. And I go, oh my gosh, I wish I could help you. Right now, I'm only working with estate planning, but I know who works with family. And here's her name. Here's his name. And tell me what you're looking for. And I make that referral. And yeah. But education is key. And for your referral sources, making sure they understand what you do and what you don't do. And then who's answering the phone?
We use Staffy. Well,
Okay.
we have a person in our office, and then we also have Staffy that does backup.
Cool. So does that kind of get expensive though for the volume of calls? And then you're looking to see like how many were what they say qualified potential new clients versus unqualified?
The example that you did earlier, I liked how, and maybe this is not always feasible, but I like how you went from, phone call to go book a consultation.
Like quick.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
Yeah. And that's not for like, that doesn't always work. I understand. You come for me, you come yell at me as soon as I get off the stage. That's why the microphone doesn't work once you get off the stage. So I'm staying here nice and safe on my island until you all leave. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's the issue that we have is that we have this friction where we need to analyze the intake,
Yeah.
and then we have to follow up. And I'm just wondering if there's a brilliant way to reduce that friction, or if that's just inevitable with the practice.
I don't know.
Okay.
That one, I only got half an answer for you. I think I got like 3/4 of an answer for you, but
Say it.
I don't know. Okay, good. Thanks. That's a good question. I'll think about it.
All right.
I'll think about it. Yes.
I have law broker.
Oh, she's going to hand you the microphone. You have law broker.
I have law broker and I have intaker as well. And when people use these, you're right, they're great. Get too many calls where people don't use them.
Oh,
And number one, what's the best way possible to screen out crazies and also people who really don't have an appreciation for what legal services cost?
I think, okay. All right. I have like 2 minutes. I'll act out that, right? What's the practice area?
We have a few, but estate planning, matrimonial,
Okay.
what area.
Okay. So I think overall a script is really important. And there's too many firms that tell me that, yeah, we have a script. Give me your phone number. I'll call you and I'll do a very gentle confirmation of whether or not that script is being used. I've called many law firms for all kinds of reasons. The majority of them do not have a good script. It's just what I acted out earlier, which felt bananas, but is actually happening. So I think a really good script, I think the person that's answering the phone, if you're the owner of the firm, if you're the attorney, it can't be you. It can't be you. We can schedule time to meet with you if it's appropriate, but you can't also be answering the phone. I know it's very triggering for some people. I empathize with you, but I promise you there are many people in this room who have already gone through the process of breaking up with the initial call. So yes, on a script, and that person that is not you will, if they're the right person and trained, ideally the goal is for them not to be taking it personally, the intake. When somebody gets upset about the $300 consult fee and they're like, $300? Are you kidding me? I just need some questions answered. Okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. Thank you for calling. I know that sounds crazy. And I'm sure people feel like, well, you can't say that, you can't do that. Okay. But in my pretend law firm, my staff is treated with respect. In my pretend law firm, that means that you don't yell at my staff on the phone. You're not even a client yet. And in my pretend law firm, not everyone is the right fit for us. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine, right? So to answer your question, I think a script is really important. There are some really good trainings out there. I don't know where to find them right now about not taking things personally. Yeah, that's what I would say for now. Is that yes?
I think we have time for one.
One more? I feel like I've ignored this whole side. I'm sorry. I'm left-handed, so I'm always like this.
Corinne, I have you.
I see. Yeah, go for it.
Hi. Hi there. I love the idea of doing everything online. My problem with that, though, is that a number of my clients aren't. I do elder law.
Yeah.
They may simply never have learned how to use a computer. They're afraid of computers.
Right.
They've got early cognitive impairment, whatever.
Yes.
And I am not going to get these people
Right.
to go on some website to do anything.
No, you won't.
And I'm trying to figure out how to balance,
Right.
the stuff that you do with the stuff that these clients need.
Okay. So that is, and I'm sorry that I did not talk about that today. I think I was trying not to make every example estate planning, but I am biased and I do love it. So sorry. But that's great. What do we do when the other person just is not tech savvy and it's not going to happen? Okay. So I think that we have to make sure we don't prejudge and we have to give them a chance. I do come into this a lot with the estate planning firms, and what some of my law firm team tell me is, well, with the elder law, we say, is there someone besides you that will be helping us? And if the answer is yes, like a daughter, a child, or a friend or something, then you might have a chance that we can do some stuff with tech. Okay, great. So that's a possibility, but you got to ask. You can't assume. I love to assume things, and I have to ask more. Like, I need to do daily training in asking and not assuming. So that's one thing. Don't assume. My dad is 86, and he recently sat for a deposition on Zoom, and none of us knew about it until it was over, and he crushed it. And I said, how did you do that? And he said, well, there was a girl. She called me up, and mommy helped me. There is staff that works in the firm. And this is where you're like, maybe I need to hire more people. I don't know. Let them take the information in. They can input the information into Clio Grow or Clio Manage on behalf of the client that is not tech savvy. People tell me all the time, I love the idea of Clio Grow, but it won't work for everyone. You're right, but it's the 80-20 rule, I believe. I believe in the 80-20 rule, which is 80% are going to be able to follow your system. The 20% that can't, that's okay. You can input for them. So sometimes, like, if doing intake in Clio Grow, you just say, okay, they're not gonna be able to fill it out, then your person is trained on how to input for them. You're doing the questions over the phone. You're asking, or you're there at the nursing home or wherever you're at with the client, and you're entering the information. You're just making it face you instead of the client. And yes, you can print things from Clio Grow and print out a 12-page intake if you want, but I think we're just kind of moving in the direction where things are done online and through forms and stuff. Okay. But yeah, really, really good point. Really, really good point. What do we do when the client is challenged by technology? So thank you for that. Okay. I think that's all the time I have. So thank you very much. This was very fun to do. I really appreciate you coming in here. Thank you. Oh, I don't have my phone. Oh, well, I was going to take a selfie, but I don't know where my phone is, so sorry. Okay. Well, please feel free to approach me. I'm here at ClioCon for the next day and a half, and I would love to answer your questions. Have a great day.